Welcome back everybody, we are back here again today. It's a beautiful Monday morning, perfect for a bit of rendering. So we're going to get this rendered, just sheeted up the window, just protecting the ground, and at the minute I'm just setting up my little bit of scaffolding here, which is, it's just one of these cheap ones online. I think it was BPS was the company, and it's very cheap, and it's, you know, it's more like for your DIY man really, rather than someone as professional as me. But anyway, what they give you, it's like these long bolts that it comes with. It comes with these bolts that go through to bolt it all together. So it's not like the sort of stuff you'd hire. It's quite a pain in the bum to put together, really. You know, it's not just clipping in like the normal stuff is. But the bit that really was driving me mad was the platform. Now with the platform, what it does, it sits on these, but it doesn't hook over. There's no hooks, you know, like a normal one would have the round bits that hook on. This was just a complete flat platform, and then the way you held it on was with these. They go through the platform, and then they hook under here, and then you've got all this to do up these things. And although I've probably come across as quite a chilled, patient bloke, when it comes to things like that, that would drive me, well it did, it drove me absolute mad, trying to undo, you know, almost 3 inches of thread off these things every time you wanted to take it and undo it. So I've tried to adapt it. So what I've done is I've bought some L brackets, and I've just fixed them on like this and tried to turn it into like more of a normal scaffold. So I haven't tested it yet. This is the first time, so I've just set this up, and I'm hoping that I've put them where they should be. So let's get you set up on something, and then you can see if this actually fits. Right, and hopefully the audio will be better from now on. I just want the audio to come from one source, which is this mic. So I've got this mic to connect to the GoPro, which you're on now. I've got it connected to my phone, and I've got a pocket Osmo as well. So I want the audio to be quite consistent throughout the videos now. Now I've got more and more of you watching me, I think it should, you know, I owe it to you to try and give you at least a good audio. I always say, if the picture isn't great, that's one thing, but if the audio is not good, it's just a no-no. So we'll try and keep everything good with this if I stop rattling this jacket. Right, now hopefully this will just clip on like a normal scaffold. No, it's not going to work. Bollocks, bollocks, bollocks. So they need to be right on the ends. I'm going to take that off and do it. It shouldn't take me a minute. I've got like self-cutting screws in it, so, and these are little self-tappers with a cutting end, so it's only cheap alley, this stuff. Might even get into the same holes. Right, I'm going to lay this on the ground and do it. I'll come back to you once it's done. Let's try this now. I've moved them right to the top. The thing. I think it needed to be right at the end. That's better. Could have come in a bit tighter, but you can see that at least it ain't going to slide off. That's the main thing. Now we've got that sorted out, I can work off the top of that. We're going to mix up some rend base coat now. I've got some mesh. Where are we? Got a couple of old bits of mesh, and also got a new roll here, new roll of mesh. So I'm going to put obviously mesh against that, and I'm going to be bedding it into rend base coat, the HP12, which is the base coat. If I can use that one, I'll always use that one. I know you can get the one coat render out of Wix, but I feel like the HP12 is just a better product. I feel, I don't know if it is or not, but that's what I learned with, and that's what I tend to go back to. Bit hard to get hold of, but I just feel like it's more of a solid thing when I use it. So first thing to do is measure the heights of the strips that we need. Get all the strips cut and ready, because you don't want to be cutting them after. You want to have them ready for you, so then when you put your first coat of render in, you can just bed that straight in. You haven't got no trimming and stuff to do really. So let's get them measured and cut. The HP12 by Rend. It's just a really nice stuff to use. Right, now when you're mixing a bag of this, you don't need as much water as you would with, say, like a bag of plaster. You'll find it starts mixing pretty quickly. So I think they say, I don't know if it says on the bag, but I think it's about 5 to 6 litres of water per bag, which is not a massive amount really. So it's quite easy to put too much water in your bucket in one go. So I haven't got anything to mix to gauge out the literage at the minute. So I'm just going to do, I think one of these is, what's this? This is, yeah, this bucket is 15 litres. So I'm going to put just under half of one of these in this bucket, and that should really do the bag really. I can always add a bit more, but yeah, just be aware that it's a bit like you know, like tile adhesive, tile arduate. You only need a little drop of water before it starts mixing, and it's really easy to put more in than you need. So I'm just going to put just under half of this bucket in with water. This stuff does need quite a good mix as well. I think they recommend to mix it for a good sort of 4 to 5 minutes, just to let stuff do its thing in the chemicals, you know, break down or start doing what it needs to do. So I don't think it's a case of just mix it quickly and chuck it on. Mix it. Sometimes what I'll do is mix it, let it sit for 4 or 5 minutes and knock it back up again, and then I feel it's ready then. And also I should put a mask on really, because it's really dusty. It really does kick up the dust. Again, a bit like tile adhesive. Now what I also want to do is put a bit of trim along this bottom edge. It's just a very shallow bell cast. Stick on with a bit of OB1. I like this, it's quite good stuff actually. Now I want to stick it to the bottom edge of this trim, because I don't, this trim is already running off, so it's not so bad, it's already got a fall on it. But I just want to put a bead at the bottom, just in case you get any, you know, what they call capillary reaction, where it's drawing it back up. So I want to set the bottom of the bead onto a nice bead of this. Right, and there we go, we've got a nice tight edge to work to now. And I think the OB1 is paintable as well. I don't think it's like silicone where the paint just separates. Yeah, I think so. Let's have a look. Is it paintable? I don't want to say if it ain't. Oh yeah, paintable with water-based paints. So it's okay. And now we're ready to just knock that stuff back down again and start chucking it on. So let's go and do that. Let's get going with this. And I'm laying it on with this little Marshalltown. I think it's only a 4-inch across trowel. I really like it. Someone took the piss out of me on it a little while ago, saying it's you should know you're a plasterer, that's a concrete trowel. Well, it's actually sold as a concrete and plaster trowel, but because it is a concrete and a plaster trowel, it's so rigid. Honestly, there's no giving it at all. It's just, I don't know, I just really like it. It's only 4 inches across. Obviously, you've got to sort of get used to that, but I don't know, it's just a really nice trowel to use, and I think it was about 15 quid from Toolstation. See, back in the day when I learnt to plaster, there wasn't this selection of trowels that we got nowadays. They were all like this. They were just rigid carbon trowels, and that's what I learnt with. So, you know, whether it's a concrete trowel or whatever trowel it is, it's a trowel. It just does the job. Now these one coat renders, they're not only for outside, these are great for internal as well, and to skim on top of. It's fantastic. So if you want to use this instead of sand and cement indoors, by all means do it. I haven't gone right across there with that render is because I also want, when I can get myself up there, I also want to cut a bit of bead running along this lead as well. again I find myself balancing and balancing. But what else do you do? It's going to be really, you know, it's just a metre square. It's hard just to sort of justify getting something a bit more permanent just for that. Right, get in here now, just levelling it all out really, ready for a little pick up and then start rubbing it up with a float. That little bit there is a pain in the arse to keep getting up and down and along there, but I think I've got most of it sort of straightened out there, so hopefully it's just a bit of a float over and then a sponge at the end. So yeah, slowly getting there. Right, getting there now, just rubbing it up. I'll be the first to admit that rendering is not my strongest point when it comes to plastering. I don't mind it, but just finishing it can sometimes just, I don't know, I never feel satisfied with it. Because when I learnt rendering years ago, I only learnt it to cover it up again with skim, because I learnt doing damp work. So although I was okay at rendering, I'd never did it, learn it as a finish. So we never used to rub it up like that. We'd get it flat and then we'd put like a devil float in it ready for the skim. So it's something I never learned, but obviously I know how to do it, but I would never say that I'm the man to watch. There's plenty more better renderers out there than me, but it comes up all right, this stuff. You can see it rubs up lovely, this HP12. It does come up nice. Yeah, nice little job today. I like a bit of rendering. I'm definitely not the best in the world at it. I've never done it consistently enough to get really, really good at rendering. I do enjoy it, and obviously I do it from time to time. But I wouldn't say my rendering is as good as my plastering. The finish is not as good as I can get. with the skimming. I like seeing good rendering. I like seeing a really good rendering job because I know I feel that getting the rendering spot on is a lot more of an art than getting plaster spot on. I don't know if that's true or not, but it's just the way I see it. I just think it's more of a skill to get rendering really good, really flat. You know, even when the sun hits it, you might drive past a building and the sun's hitting the render, and you're getting hardly any bounce back, if any at all. And you know that's someone's put a real lot of effort into getting that like that. That doesn't just happen by chance. You know, not like plastering. The decorator can go in after you, and then he can make it look right if it isn't right. But with rendering, you've just got one chance here, really. You're not stopping, mate? Anyway, I'm nearly back home now. Tomorrow I've got some plastering. So I'm just waving at the wife. So tomorrow, yeah, I've got some plastering. Customers of mine have had a friend rip off the tiles in the kitchen for them, and that friend, if it is still a friend, has absolutely destroyed the kitchen wall. So I'll be in there putting that back tomorrow. So thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, thanks for all your support, and I will see you all tomorrow. So have a lovely evening, everybody, if this does go out in the evening. But anyway, I'll see you tomorrow.